There's a kind of magic about revolvers. They have this unmistakable click and roar, and they've stood the test of time, outliving presidents, pop culture trends, and more than a few so-called game changers in firearms. But here's what we're really here to ponder. If money weren't an obstacle and you wanted to invest in the finest wheel gun available today, what would it be? I'm not talking about some museum relic or a one-off auction piece that costs as much as a small yacht. I mean revolvers you can buy, shoot, and one day pass down to your kids, the kind that make other shooters take pause at the range. In this episode, we're delving into the top-tier revolvers of 2025. We'll explore precision engineering, smooth triggers, and even a few unexpected finds you probably didn't know were still out there. So get ready, because this journey is going to be one heck of a ride. The Smith & Wesson 686. This is the revolver that rekindles people's love affair with wheel guns. The 686 Plus models allow for 7 rounds of .357 Magnum, making it feel a bit like a cheat compared to most 6-shooters. Pick one up, and you'll notice it's got a more utilitarian vibe compared to the Python. But that doesn't mean it's boring. The stainless steel frame is as solid as they come. It's balanced beautifully, built to handle thousands of Magnum rounds without falling apart. And if you want something even more refined, Smith & Wesson's Performance Center offers tuned versions of the 686 and the 6127 that are pure mechanical artistry. We're talking about hand-fitted parts, smooth actions unlike anything from a standard model, and features for optics or rails if you feel like pushing the envelope further. What I really love about the 686 is its adaptability. You can get it in different barrel lengths, 2.5 inches if you're thinking about carrying it, or a full 6-inch tube if you're serious about target work or small game hunting. Either way, you get a revolver that fits naturally in your hand and boosts your shooting confidence. Recoil management is top-notch. Many shooters note that even with hot .357 loads, the 686 feels more like a firm handshake than a knockout punch. That makes it perfect for newcomers to the Magnum scene who want to enter without regrets after the first cylinder. Price-wise, it's more forgiving than a Python. Think $900 to $1,100 depending on the model. But it's certainly not a bargain basement gun. Truth be told, if I had to recommend a single revolver to someone in 2025 looking for a versatile wheel gun, the 686 Plus would be it. It's reliable, precise, and just plain enjoyable to shoot. In short, the Python makes you feel like an aficionado, but the 686 lets you embody the role of a true shooter. Now, next up we take a trip to France for one of the most storied revolvers in history, the Manurhin MR73. If Korth is the Porsche, the MR73 is a rally car built to endure the harshest trials out there. This isn't merely a revolver with a polished exterior, it's a battle-hardened firearm forged in real-world combat. The MR73 earned its reputation with the French GINN, an esteemed counter-terrorism and hostage rescue team. These men put their gear through conditions that would make most tests seem like a vacation. We're talking tens of thousands of full-power .357 Magnum rounds day in and day out, with the revolver still functioning like a precision timepiece. That's why the MR73 is heralded as one of the most durable revolvers ever made. Its mechanics are nothing short of genius. It features an adjustable trigger system so you can set the double action and single action pulls to your personal preference. Want a velvety smooth DA pull? You've got it. Or a crisp SA break? The MR73 lets you customize it as if you're fine-tuning a race car's engine. The outcome is a revolver that feels personal, tailored for you rather than just broadly adequate. And don't let the French origin fool you. This firearms is as rugged as anything from Germany. The deep blue finish on many MR73s is as stunning as it is protective. The machining is so exact that parts outlast most shooters' eagerness for the range. Accuracy is top tier, delivering groups tight enough to put some semi-autos to shame. Price-wise, it sits in the mid to high range, about $3,500 to $5,000, depending on the setup. Not exactly cheap, but when considering its history and real-world combat credentials, it almost feels like a deal next to a Korth. What truly clinches it is its legacy. You're purchasing not just a revolver, but a slice of history. the same type used by some of the toughest individuals around. That infuses the MR73 with a mystique beyond any price tag. If you spend enough time around seasoned hunters, Alaskan guides, or those who retreat into bear country for weeks, you'll eventually catch wind of one name mentioned with equal parts respect and disbelief: the Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan. This robust revolver is testament to the idea that sometimes you don't need a long barrel to deliver earth-shattering power. It was designed for one purpose: granting you a fighting chance when a 1,000-pound grizzly decides you're on the menu. The Alaskan is essentially a short-barreled version of Ruger's already famous Super Redhawk. We're talking about a revolver that handles some of the fiercest cartridges out there, like the .454 Casull, .480 Ruger, or the iconic .44 Magnum. The short barrel means it's not a target shooter. Accuracy past 50 yards is more a matter of bear than pinpoint precision. But that's not the mission here. This is about raw, survive-at-all-costs stopping power in the most compact form Ruger could design without the firearm blowing up in your hands. What truly sets the Alaskan apart is its practical ferocity. The trigger is smooth enough, the double-action pull hefty but doable, and the single-action release is sharp once you cock the hammer. The gun is all stainless steel, built like a tank with grips that try to manage recoil, but still remind you that you just unleashed a small thunderclap. It's not something you carry to impress folks at the range, though it certainly will. It's the revolver you take when venturing into the wild, trusting that it can stop anything that might come charging at you, adorned in fur, claws, and ill intent. Now, is this revolver for everyone? Absolutely not. It's heavy, its muzzle blast deafening, and you won't exactly be fanning off 6 shots quickly unless you've got a taste for discomfort. But in its class, commercially available handguns delivering maximum stopping power for real-world situations, the Ruger Super Redhawk Alaskan is unmatched. If when you hear best revolver money can buy, you think of survival in the face of nature's fiercest challenges, then this is your winner. The Colt Python. No surprises here. This Python is often referred to as the Rolls-Royce of revolvers, but quite honestly, that's putting it mildly. The 2025 production run carries on from Colt's recent re-release. This revolver is crafted with precision in every square inch. The first time you hold a modern Python, it's not just the weight that stands out, though at over 40 ounces, you'll definitely notice it. It's how the steel feels almost alive in your grip. The brushed stainless finish is so sleek that you might think twice about shooting it until you try the trigger. That double-action pull feels smoother than a baby seal's fur, and the single action's crispness would make a 1911 envious. The Python thrives on .357 Magnum with 6 rounds in the cylinder, and it's just as happy firing .38 Special if you're looking for a more laid-back day at the range. What really sets this revolver apart, though, is its precision. We're talking about 2-inch clusters at 25 yards consistently if you do your part. I've seen folks with scoped rifles at the range pause to see who's shooting when a Python comes out. It's got that kind of presence. Now, is it the most practical revolver? Not really. It's hefty and on the pricey side, north of $1,400. You don't pick this one for a quick midnight trip to the gas station. The Python is about skill, pride, and that indescribable smile you get after firing a full cylinder and realizing, wow, that's something special. If you're looking for the perfect mix of luxury and real-world usability, the Python could be your new best friend. When it comes to revolvers that epitomize engineering excellence, Korth is the name that stands tall. Built in Germany with an almost excessive commitment to craftsmanship, a Korth is more than a firearm. It's a precision tool in the guise of a handgun. Each part is hand-fitted, every edge polished to a shine, and each trigger pull is crafted with such finesse that it's like the engineers in Ratzeburg are whispering, yes, this will spoil you for all other revolvers. Firing a Korth is one of those oh wow experiences you remember long after. The double-action pull flows smoothly, as though the cylinder dances on air. The single-action trigger is sharp enough to make competitive shooters grin like kids in a sweet shop. And the accuracy? These beauties can produce cloverleaf patterns at 25 yards without even a hint of struggle. It's the sort of revolver where if you miss, you don't fault the gun. You start to question your very decisions. Models like the Korth Mongoose or the Carry Special are the stars here. Chambered in .357 Magnum with cylinders that can swap to 9mm for versatility. It's a neat trick, but more crucially, a beauty testament to the design's refinement. The tolerances are so tight that some users joke you can almost hear the German engineers frown if you run budget reloads through it. Naturally, all this brilliance carries a hefty price. We're talking $6,000 to $8,000, sometimes more with certain options. That's comparable to a second-hand car, or occasionally a new one. But Korth isn't about cost-friendliness. It's about pursuing perfection. If Colt Python is a Mustang and Smith & Wesson is a Camaro, then Korth is a hand-built Porsche GT3. It's for the shooter who demands not just a revolver, but the revolver. Interestingly, Korth owners don't boast. They'll nonchalantly invite you to try one and then simply sit back as they watch your expression change once you understand what a revolver can be when price isn't a factor. And that, folks, is why Korth occupies the high shelf of the money can buy category, the Freedom Arms model. 83 is the champion of brute force. This revolver doesn't merely shoot, it asserts itself. Made in Wyoming, USA, the Model 83 is chambered for cartridges that many folks only whisper about, like the .454 Cazul and the .500 Wyoming Express. If you're the kind who thinks a .357 Magnum is just a warm-up, this is your territory. Everything about the Model 83 speaks to strength and precision. Its frame is machined from stainless steel, so robust it feels like it could withstand a plane crash. The lockup is as tight as a bank vault, with tolerances so precise it's likened to a Swiss watch made by a blacksmith. It's the revolver you take when hunting formidable game, bears, bison, or anything else considering you as lunch. What's intriguing is that despite its raw power, the Freedom Arms isn't lacking in elegance. The trigger is crisp, the finish impeccable, and its accuracy is almost unsettling. For a piece chambered for rounds with bone-shaking recoil. Hunters report taking game from 100 yards with just iron sights, which says a lot about both the revolver's quality and the shooter's guts. Price-wise, it's more attainable than a Korth or an MR73, beginning around $2,000 and going up to $4,000, depending on your choice of options. Still, when you consider holding one of the most robustly built hunting revolvers on the market, it feels like you're getting great value for your money. Of course, let's be clear. This isn't the piece you tuck in your belt for a leisurely saunter downtown. It's a working tool, perfect for folks who need or desire some serious firepower. Maybe that's the reason it's cultivated such a devoted following. Shooting one is akin to riding a bull. It's intimidating, exhilarating, and once you've experienced it, you'll remember the thrill forever. Ultimately, the finest revolver is the one that fits your needs, your grip, and your courage. Whether it's a polished Python, a combat-tried MR73, or a powerhouse like the Alaskan, each model we've reviewed earns its own crown in its respective arena. I've shared my top picks. Now I'm eager to hear yours. Share your choice in the comments and explain why. Hit that subscribe button if you want more in-depth analysis of real firearm legends. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next shot.